Hello everybody, Mike Stewart coming to you again from Team Maryland Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure you check out our website, teammarylandbjj.com. And man, I had a really good talk with one of my friends the other day, and they are getting their child involved for the summertime, a very, very young kid, into swimming. And I think that this is a great idea, and I think that people need to look at swimming, like getting swimming lessons for your kid, the same way that you would as martial arts and self-defense. And here's what I mean by that, is that you would never send your kid into the world not knowing how to swim. I mean, if you did, you'd be a little bit of an irresponsible parent. Every parent should want their kid to know how to swim. Why? Because it's a survival skill. Now, you don't put your kid into a swimming lesson assuming that they're gonna, fall into a pool or a lake and drown one day, but you're better preparing them. This builds their confidence. And I think that you should look at martial arts the same way. You're not getting your kid into martial arts because you're expecting them to get into a fight, but with proper training and technique, just like swimming, they're going to have a better chance of survival if something were to happen to them, right? And another interesting thing in the adult spectrum with this is I always have people all the time tell me I'm gonna get in shape before I come take your classes, or I'm going to, lift weights, or I'm gonna run before I come take jiu-jitsu. Now, no different than if you say, well, before I start swimming lessons, I'm gonna get into like super good shape, The result is gonna be the same though. You can be in the best shape of your life, and if you don't know the proper technique, if I throw you into a pool and you haven't been taught properly, you're going to drown, right? No different than, especially jiu-jitsu, if you don't know the techniques and you don't have proper fundamentals, it doesn't matter what kind of shape you're in, it's really not going to help you. Now, of course, if you're fit and you're active, it's a little bit less challenging with some of the workouts that we do and some of the conditioning. But, jiu-jitsu is based on leverage and principles of technique and timing, no different than swimming. You're not powering your way through a current, you have a proper technique to avoid too much resistance and drowning. No different than with jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you can get big and strong, but someone that has a good, solid, fundamental game, you're not just going to throw them off of you. You're not just going to throw them to the ground. Your strength, honestly, and I know a lot of you are not going to want to hear this, your strength means nothing in here. This is an environment where it really doesn't mean anything. So if you're going to get your kids involved in swimming lessons, think about the same way. This is a survival skill. This is something that's going to prepare my child for life and give them more confidence. And you don't have to fear, you don't have to fear sending your kid to a friend's house that has a pool because your child knows how to swim, right? You wouldn't worry about them. If your kid didn't know how to swim, you'd be a nervous wreck sitting at home thinking, man, what could happen if, I'm not there watching them, what could happen? Is that really any different than sending your kid to school without proper self-defense skills? And maybe they're a little bit of a timid kid or something. You don't want to live in this constant fear of, man, I wonder what's happening to them in school today. It's better off acquiring the skill, taking it seriously, and easing the stress and not having to worry about it, right? That's what the ultimate goal of martial arts should be, is to give the kids and the parents so much confidence that there's really no worry of being attacked. And when you kind of have this, like we've talked about, this kind of aura of confidence about you, people tend to just kind of leave you alone. So look at self-defense exactly the same that you would swimming. You wouldn't send your kid out there not knowing how to swim. You shouldn't send your kid into the world not knowing self-defense. Same thing if you're an adult. Like if you don't know how to swim as an adult, here's one last thing I'll leave you with. Will people be like, it's trying to think of two different ways I can compare this. People would say, well, I don't live near a body of water, or I never go swimming, okay? Same way people say, well, I live in a nice area. I don't go to rust, I don't get into fights, that sort of thing. Well, what if your child was drowning and you didn't know how to swim? What are you gonna do? Just let them drown, You can't avoid the fear and the lack of preparation at that point. What are you going to do if your child's being abducted by somebody tougher than you and you don't know how to fight? You don't know how to fend them off. Just because you want to avoid it, what are you going to do? Run and just let your kid get abducted? So the fear and the lack of preparation is no reason to avoid acquiring the skill. You're never too old to learn how to swim, learn martial arts, go learn golf. I don't care what it is. So don't let that limitation hold you back, and don't wait to get in shape. Don't wait to get your conditioning up. Come in here, and as parents, don't wait for something bad to happen. Let's take some preventive measures and get the kids in here and build the confidence before the problem even gets started. As many of you know, we have Rener Gracie coming out here. We've had Hiron come out before. We totally support the Gracie Academy and the whole Keep It Playful movement. Check out keepitplayful.com. Rener and Eve just put an amazing video out yesterday about this horrible home invasion in New Jersey. So I've already posted a link for that. Make sure you check it out. We have them coming out for a series of 4 different seminars, 2 different adult seminars, a kids bully-proof seminar, and we just announced Women in Power. So I'll put all the information to that in the box below. Check it out. TeamMarylandBJJ.com. I hope this is helpful to you, and get yourself involved, get your kids involved. Have a good day.